Okay, Nathan, you're an NCI contractor, National Comfort Institute. So when you go into a home and you're going to use the script for the new flat rate, tell me how you integrate that with letting the customer know that you're going to do these extra performance checks.
Well, a lot of our customers have been able to see this performance testing done anyways. I mean, we've been doing this for quite some time. So on any kind of new customer or whichever PM that we're going out, we're going to tell them on the front. When we did the office by chance tell you what we're going to be doing today? Some say no. Well, we're going to check out the mechanical system, make sure everything is working right. Then we're going to check out the safety systems. Safety is no accident. And then we're going to check out the performance system to see how everything is working efficiently. Once we have all that, if there's anything that we may find, what would you like us for us to do? Tell us. Okay. The only way to do that is to measure true performance, and that's what we're doing. When we go out and do a PM, we're testing the static pressure. We're testing the filter resistance. We're running it on across a fan curve chart. We're measuring wet bulb. We're converting it to enthalpy. We're calculating everything. At that point, when we go over everything, we say, okay, by the way, just so you know, your system is working at 55% efficient out of 100. Whoa, wait a minute, that's a little low, right? Yeah. I mean, we're shooting for 90% or better, and you only scored a 55. But we do have some options. Would you like to go over them? And if they want to go over them, fine. If not, that's okay too. At this point, if it is something that's really bad, the guys will give me a call and we'll get something set up to where I can come out and see what's really going on. It could be an easy fix. It could be a really difficult, let's rip it all out and start over.
But by the time they go through that, they know what's causing the problem.
Right. The guys come back and said, look, high static on the return side. Okay, what's the problem? Return zones are size.
Right.
Well, let's take a look at that and see. You have to be very careful and just saying, okay, let's just enlarge the return and hope for the best, because sometimes static pressures will shift to the positive side of that blower.
Right.
Well, if you're shoving too much on that side, now there's a different problem.
Right.
You have to be very careful, and that's why they want me to come out and take a look at it. But,
right. Do it one time, do it right.
Right.
So now, on preventative maintenance call, that gives you an extremely accurate way to check the performance of the system and to give the customer some solutions.
Right, and it's just a snapshot of what we're doing. At that time date, all the conditions right where we were at, here's what was going on. And we're able to give them some options to fix that. You guys have a duct whole section for that, for duct repair, duct replacement, and also with filtration too. So
you can tie that right into the new flat rate and give them options for the solutions.
Yes.
Now, how about on a demand service call?
Demand service call, have no cooling, say the equipment's working all it can. We've heard that. Guys that come back, what'd you find? Nothing. It's good. It's doing all it can.
It's working.
Yeah, it's working. Well, what kind of performance are we talking about? What was your delta enthalpies? What was your airflow? What was your static pressure? If you're able to define those problems and we can come up with solutions, everybody else is going to tell them, it's working.
It's working.
So we're able to do that on those calls and say, hey, this is some solutions. What should we do?
Okay, great. So on a demand service call, you come out there and maybe it's not working. Maybe there's no air conditioning, you know, who knows what, a safety component, a blower's out, anything, but it's not running when you get there. Now what do?
There'll be a couple of faults. Well, you can look and see. Say, for instance, you've got an X amount of tonnage unit, you look at the duct system, it's undersized, you clearly know it's not going to work there. But whatever has to be done, you've got to get them back up and going, but the only way for you to know truly what's going on is you have to measure. If you don't measure, you're guessing. So that's something that we stand by. It's hard to say what that duct system's going to do to you to restore your air movement system.
So then what you're going to do is you're going to diagnose the problem, give the customer some options on the solutions, make the repairs, then once it's up and running, you'll go ahead and do the testing.
Right. Because you won't, if nothing's running, you can't test anything.
Right.
So after everything is restored, then you can go back in, you can test, you can see what's going on. At that point, you'll have an idea.
So then if you have a problem, you just go back to the customer and say, we got it running, all of this is solved, we did find some things that concern us, I noticed this in my testing.
Right. Here you go, what do you want to do about it?
Yeah. And they may not want to do anything,
they may
but
not.
you've got the documentation there, so that if sometime they do, you can very easily say, okay, let's go ahead and make these corrections.
Absolutely. For instance, the job that I was out on this morning, we were there several years ago and put a new system in, and all of a sudden, we told him then it was bad. Well, we go out today and it scored a 4 out of 100, and it's 90 degrees outside, and he's wondering why his house is 77. We did the PM, everything is working, but it just can't deliver.
Wow.
So now we're having to revisit all this, give him his options again, and he's ready to look at getting something done permanently. So this is not a problem. It's costing him over double just to continue this way.
Right. So using the new flat rate, along with National Comfort Institute, with the NCI performance program, you've been on that for a while.
Yes.
Has the new flat rate made your relationship with NCI more profitable?
It has, and a lot easier too. It has streamlined everything, because we're not having to come back here and custom make up quotes left and right. Everything is just, here's your options, they're preset. You know, what should we do?
Wow.
And it just makes it easy, because that's exactly what we had to do. We'd go out, find the problems, I'd have to come back here, put together solutions, and then meet them again. And now we can just say all at one time, here's some issues, what do you want to do about it?
Great. And at that time, the customer they've already taken off work or rearranged their schedule. In other words, they've already scheduled time with you, and now you go over this, they can make a decision right then. So that's great. I'm really glad to hear that it works that seamlessly together.